Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show, and welcome to 2025. That's right, the new year is finally here. Out with the old, in with the new. I hope you guys had a very happy and safe New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Hope you guys really enjoyed yourself. On today's video, we are going to be looking at the AtGames calendar for January. And I'm also going to take a couple of quick minutes and just talk about what they have planned throughout 2025 in terms of their pinball table releases. That's all coming up right after this. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this video. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Now, at the time of recording this video, I am about 10 subscribers away from 2,500. I've got a big goal to hit 3,000 subscribers sometime early into this year, so anything you guys can do to help would be definitely appreciated. Of course, you can also click that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. Now let's jump in and let's take a look at what AtGames has in store for the first month of 2025. So lately, AtGames has been releasing two calendars every month, one focused on their HD line and one focused on their 4K line. That trend does seem to continue into January of 2025, so we'll go through each individually. For the most part, they're very similar. I will, of course, point out the differences between the two. So starting with a look at the HD calendar, you can see the month overview here. And again, in 2025, they're going to be continuing their Flipper Friends tournaments. They start on a Friday, go through the following Thursday. As we go through, I'll show you the different tables that you can play. There are differences between Flipper Friends on HD and 4K for what tables you can play. And one of the things you'll notice here is on Wednesday the 15th, right there in the middle of the month, they do have a firmware update scheduled. Now, this does say new firmware update for Legends CE HD devices. So this update might just be for the new ALU machine that is available at Sam's Club. That one has their CE UI interface on it, whereas their older Legends Ultimates and their Pinball HD Pinball do not have the CE, so this could be just for that. I mean, unless they plan on bringing that CE interface to the older machines, I think this is just going to be a firmware update for the newer one. Again, maybe we'll find out more information, or maybe there's more info in the calendar that I missed as we go through it. We'll see. Otherwise, hopefully we'll get more info as it gets closer. Starting on the 16th is their Week 1 deal homecoming sale. Deals, whatever you want to call it. This was originally supposed to be in December. They pushed it off to January due to some networking issues that they had going on. So that is now scheduled to go from the 16th through the 22nd. And for the HD line in January, we have two pinball tables that are scheduled to be released. The Sea of Thieves on the 23rd and Space Shuttle Deluxe on the 30th. So going through the breakdown of each week in January, you can see again on Fridays, they have those Flipper Friends tournaments. On the 3rd, the tables you're going to be able to play are Wipeout, World of Microbes, and Pinball Champ. And on the 10th, they're going to have Cactus Jacks, The Insect World, and Soccer Kings. They're also going to have some other contests and things going on throughout the month that you can see here. And they're going to be releasing a Best of 2024 retrospective video on Friday, January 10th. Now, again, here on the 15th, it shows this new firmware update for Legends CE HD devices. Again, as of right now, that's all the info we have on there. So I'm going to speculate that that is just for the new AtGames Legends Ultimate CE HD device. It's not for the older Legends Ultimates or the Micro Pinball or the HD Pinball, anything like that. Again, we'll find out more info as that gets closer. And then on Thursday the 16th, that's the start of the Week 1 deal homecoming deals going on. And on Friday the 17th is the next Flipper Friends, which is going to be Al's Garage Band Goes on a World Tour, Nature Fury, and Winter Sports. So it looks like throughout the month of January, they're going to be including this Natural History Pinball Pack 3 as part of their Flipper Friends tournaments. So if you've purchased that recently, or if you plan on purchasing that, those are tables you'll be able to play to participate in Flipper Friends. Now, on January 22nd, the week one deal homecoming deals will end, so you have till then to take advantage of it. On the 24th is, again, another Flipper Friends. This one is going to be Rescue 911, Sea of Thieves, and Wizards, and that's because the Sea of Thieves pinball pack will drop the day before that on the 23rd. Now, remember, you're buying the entire rare pinball pack for $25, but you're only getting Sea of Thieves to start. The Battletoads and Killer Instinct tables won't be released until I believe National Owners Day in February. So in about a month's time after that is when those other two tables are supposed to be released. And then finishing off the month on Thursday the 30th, we will see Space Shuttle Deluxe get released, the first of the brand new Magic Pixel tables that they have scheduled for 2025. And this should be available for both HD and 4K. So don't worry, if you own a 4K and you want to get access to this, you'll be able to do that as well. And then the final Flipper Friends starts on the 31st. That's going to be Haunted House, Darius, and the original Space Shuttle. Now, moving on to the 4K calendar, again, you can see it is very similar, obviously, to the HD calendar. Not sure why they don't just combine these at this point. I guess it's easier to put these out on the different 4K and HD groups this way, and for people to just kind of focus on the one that they care about the most. If you don't own one of the 4Ks and you only care about HD, well, then I guess it makes sense. But here again, for the 4K, they're also going to be continuing their Flipper Friends again, Friday going to Thursday. I'll highlight those as we go through. There is going to be a firmware update also on the 15th for the 4K line. So if you own one of the 4K pinballs, you can look for a firmware update on the 15th. Again, since they also have one planned for the CE-HD devices, my guess is that it must have something to do with the UI, with the interface that they have going on the 4K pinball on the CE devices. So again, hopefully we'll find out more info as it gets closer to the middle of the month. Again, those week one deal homecoming deals starts on the 16th and goes through the 22nd. Already covered those on the HD. They do have a special sale going on from the 23rd to the 27th. This is their New Year's resolution celebration sale, which says AAF program only. I guess I'll get into more as we get into that a little bit. And again, for the 4K line, the only table planned to be released right now for January is, again, that Space Shuttle Deluxe on the 30th, released for both HD and 4K same day. So I'm not going to take too much more time on the 4K calendar because for the most part, it's the same as the HD one that I already went over. Again, for some reason, for the 4K one, they have not released what the tables are going to be for the Flipper Friends. My guess is they're usually two of the same tables as HD, but they swap in one of the Zen tables instead of maybe one of the older Gottlieb or Zakaria tables. So I guess as each week comes up, we'll find out which ones you can play for Flipper Friends if you're on your 4KP machine. Now, again, real quick, on the 15th is when that firmware release for the Legends 4KP devices will also drop. They are saying 9 a.m. Pacific time is when that should drop, so keep that in mind. Now, starting on Thursday, January 23rd, they're going to have this New Year's resolution celebration sale, AAF program only. So, again, we're going to have to find out a little more info on that as it gets closer, what that actually means. It sounds like they're going to do maybe a special sale on their focused on their 4KP pinball machines, but maybe if you want to take advantage of this sale, you've got to go through their AAF program to purchase it. I don't know. Will be kind of interesting to see. Are they going to do any really special discounts above and beyond the $100 or so that we normally see off during like a National Owners Day or just a regular sale? Or is it going to basically be like a National Owners Day sale? You get a couple $100 off or whatever, but you've got to purchase your machine using the AAF program. Again, we'll have to wait and get a little more info. I don't have any more info on that at this point. Just put it showing in the calendar here. But something to keep in mind that is coming up later on this month. So if you've been waiting to purchase one of the 4KP pinball machines, you're interested in doing it through their affordable financing program, this is something that maybe you might want to keep an eye out on and see what they're going to do. Now, that sale does end the following Monday on the 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Thursday, the 30th, is when we'll see Space Shuttle Deluxe drop, again, also for 4KP and HD. And there you go. That's a look at the January calendar from AtGames for their HD, for their 4KP pinball. Definitely a lighter month starting off 2025 than they had in December. They had a lot packed into December, obviously. Some of that, like the week one deals, got pushed off to January because of the DNS networking issues that they had, where their system was down for a few days. That kind of changed a few things up, pushed a few things off. But for the most part, you can see throughout January here, they've got their normal tournaments going on. They've got a couple of deals going on. They've got a sale going on for their 4KP pinball machines and a couple of releases. So not a lot of releases really to look forward to in January, but they've got tons planned throughout 2025. And I haven't had an opportunity to really touch on this yet, so I want to take a quick minute and touch on this. I know a lot of you guys have already seen the posts. You've already seen the videos on this, so I'm not going to take a lot of time. I just want to touch on it really quick. So before I touch on this, I got to say a couple of things. I got to give some full disclosure here. A lot of you guys have heard me say this before, but for anybody new to the channel, I am a part of AtGames Media Group, Influencer Group, whatever you want to call it. They do send me some info from time to time, like this release schedule. This was sent to me right around the same time that they actually did wind up dropping this on their social media channels. So not too much in advance, but they did actually send me two different schedules. They sent me this one, which is their Magic Pixel schedule for their HD and their 4K line, and also the Zen Pinball one. Now, I will tell you that there was an issue with the Zen Pinball release. I'll get into that a little bit, but it did get put out to their social media groups. It did then get pulled from their social media groups. Lots of people did see it, though, and did wind up making videos on it, talking about it, things like that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the Zen Pinball release one because, quite honestly, in my relationship with AtGames, they did send it to me. I do have it. I was asked not to use it, not to show it, and I'm going to respect that relationship with them. Guys, cat's out of the bag anyway. If you've seen P-Dub's Arcade Loft, if you've seen Michael B. the Game Genie, if you've seen a lot of people who tend to cover AtGames, you already know the deal. And I am going to just talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to actually show it just because I was asked not to, and I want to respect that relationship. But guys, look, it's already out there. You've already seen it, or if you haven't, there are plenty of other channels you could go to see what that Zen release schedule is going to look like. So now that I've got that out of the way, I can talk about this one really quick. This is, again, these are the tables that, for the most part, I guess, are being done by Magic Pixel. These are going to release for both the 4K and HD line. And for the most part, it looks like they're taking a lot of the Zakaria tables that have been out for a while and doing deluxe versions of those tables. There's maybe like a dozen or so deluxe tables out already for a lot of those Zakaria tables. They're going to bump that up and do a bunch more throughout this year. I already talked about January with Space Shuttle. You can see a bunch of the other ones here coming up over the months. Zancor, Black Belt, Earth, Wind, Fire, Moonflight, Shooting the Rapids, Future World Soccer Kings, so on and so forth. Again, the list is right here. I'm not going to go through each one individually. I think some of these could be really cool. Some of these, listen, if you like the way that they've kind of redone some of these tables in deluxe, you'll probably like these. If you're not a fan of the deluxe versions of these tables, then there's probably not a lot to look forward to here in those terms as well. Some other interesting things, though, is starting in February and going through March and April, they have these Primal Carnage tables set to come out. There's going to be 4 different tables based on Primal Carnage. Now, similar to Sea of Thieves, I'm not really that familiar with the game Primal Carnage, but it is, I guess it's kind of like a dinosaur-themed, creature-themed game. So it'll be interesting to see what these tables are going to look like. But at least there's something new and unique and not just rehashed deluxe versions of older tables. And then throughout the year, it looks like AtGames does have their own original pinball tables scheduled for release. It looks like the first one's going to come out in July, and it looks like we're going to get about 5 different ones throughout the second half of the year. Now, again, no information on what the theme of those is going to be. We'll just have to wait and see as the year progresses. So the Primal Carnage tables, these original tables, could be the ones most interesting to look out for, especially if you're an HD owner. Oh, and then, of course, really quick, again, I already talked about the Sea of Thieves dropping on January 23rd, but it looks like February 20th is when the second half of the Rare Pinball Pack drops. That's when we will see Killer Instinct and Battletoads get released, again, for both the 4K and the HD. So everybody will have access to it at the same time when that finally releases, February 20th, which is probably going to be right around when their February National Owners Day starts. Now, before I wrap this up, I do want to just take a quick minute and talk about that Zen schedule release. Like I said, it was pulled off of their social media. I was asked not to use or release it, so I'm not going to show it on screen in this video. There are plenty of places you can go to find it if you want to actually see what the release schedule looks like. But I will say that if you're a 4KP owner or if you're considering purchasing one, 2025 is looking to be a really good year for Zen releases. The schedule that they released has what they have planned from about February through August. There are no Zen pinball tables scheduled to release in January. The first one comes in late February, and like I said, their schedule goes through August. So we'll have to wait and see what they have planned for the last quarter of the year as well. But man, if you're a Williams pinball fan, you've got a lot to look forward to because the year is just packed full of the Zen Williams tables. I mean, they are just going to release them boom, 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 boom throughout the year. I'm really excited that they're going to release the newest one that came out, which is going to have Black Knight 2000, Earthshaker, and Bonsai Run. I am really curious to see how they plan on handling Bonsai Run. Now, we have to wait a while to see that. That's the last one on the schedule towards the end of August, but I am curious to see it. Of course, if you're a Star Wars fan, it looks like they're going to be releasing some of the Star Wars pinball packs very early in the year throughout February and April, so those will be a lot of fun as well. Now, I wish they were going to talk more about themed pinball machines that they have coming out. I don't think we have anything planned till much later in the year from them. I think they said there's going to be like a 9-month gap before they can do that. Now, I can't remember if that was 9 months from when they announced it, which was like September or October, or if it's 9 months into 2025. I think some people have said it's 9 months into 2025. So we're looking at August or September before they even say what the next themed machine is going to be, which is a shame because I think a lot of people would love a Star Wars one, but if they're releasing a bunch of Star Wars packs early in the year, maybe that won't be. Although, who knows? They're not releasing all the Star Wars packs. There are still plenty to come. There's no Marvel on the schedule as of yet, so who knows what they have planned for later on in the year. Now, I will take a quick minute and talk about why I think the Zen release was pulled. Again, I was asked not to use it and not to show it, but I guess I can kind of talk about it a little bit. And again, look, most of you have seen it already, so you already know what I'm going to say. And that's the fact that one of the pinball packs on the schedule was themed after Tomb Raider. Now, that is a pinball pack that we have not seen from Zen Studios yet. So it sounds like that could be something brand new from both, possibly releasing right around the same time, although maybe that'll come out earlier in the year, and then AtGames will get it later in the year, because I think it was scheduled for sometime around June from them. But I do have it on fairly good authority that at some point, AtGames and Zen does want to release pinball packs pretty much right around the same time. Maybe if not a day one drop, maybe like within a week or two of each other. So there could come a time when Zen announces a new pinball pack for their pinball effects, and AtGame gets it either at the same time or shortly after. So that is something to look forward to, if not in 2025, certainly by 2026, as they start to ramp up and go through the entire Zen catalog. There could definitely come a time when we see releases from Zen that hit AtGames at or close to right around the same time. So that Tomb Raider one might be a spoiler for a Zen pack that's coming out early in the year, or it might be coming out right around the same time that it drops for AtGames. We'll have to wait and see, but that's all I'm going to say about that. But there you go. That's my look at the January calendar from AtGames and a little bit of info on what they have planned for 2025. I know a lot of you have already seen those videos. Between the holidays and other videos that I had planned, I just didn't get a chance to talk about it until now. So I figured as long as I was going through the January calendar, it was a good time to just bring it up real quick, talk about it very quickly, because again, you guys have all seen a lot of the videos on the releases already. So you didn't necessarily need my take on it, but I figured I would throw my 2 cents in there anyway. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like, leave me some comments below on your thoughts on AtGames for 2025, what you're looking forward to the most, what you think of the January calendar, so on and so forth. Of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do that. Like I said, I've got a goal. I would love to hit 3,000 subscribers within the next couple of months here. I might even do something special if I do. And of course, if you want to support the channel even further, you could consider purchasing a membership as well. That's going to do it for this one. I will see you guys on the next one. Again, Happy New Year, Happy 2025, and of course, Happy Gaming.